Would you like some good quality anime merch? Well, you can get that from our sponsor today, Beautiful Halo, link in the description. And on your next $49 plus order, get 5% off with the code MEME, and $99 plus order with code MEME for 10% off. Right before we begin this video, I just want to shout out my friend Hxmesh. Yes, he's my guy, and he just started a YouTube channel, and go subscribe to him, show him some love. He does Warzone videos. He just started, and his videos are actually kind of way better than mine. I started with 360p videos. He started with 1080p. Ways. Anywho, now if you guys can go subscribe to him, show him some love, I'd appreciate it a lot, and he would too. And anywho, let's get right into the video. Roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is THEKINGofWEEBS here. This is what if Naruto was a generational genius part 2. And I'm feeling much worse than how I felt when I first recorded the first part, and it's really bad now, boys. Now, last time we left off with, Naruto well, joining forces with Zabuza and Haku, and Zabuza unfortunately, died, and Haku survived. Haku actually, and we'll, continue from there. Haku actually wanted to die, to be honest. He don't want to continue living without Zabuza, but then Naruto actually stopped him and asked him if he wants to go with him, since he doesn't really have many people, and Haku is one of his friends, and he doesn't want to lose anyone anymore. And of course, Haku then just looks at Naruto. Naruto is being sincere, and so he actually joins Naruto. Anywho, Haku is just 2 years older than Naruto, so it's not much of a difference, and he is where he is. Now, after this, Naruto and Haku actually hear about they actually hear about, different things. For example, Naruto being in the bingo book, same as Haku. They're both A-rank shinobi, and also they hear about the Chunin exams. Naruto gets intrigued by this, since he's only been a genin. He's never actually done the Chunin. He doesn't want to do the Chunin exams, but he wants to see how they are. And so Haku actually tells him that they should go and watch them, since it's free. And basically Naruto's like, oh yeah, you're right. But of course Naruto doesn't want to return to the village, just because of course to watch the Chunin exams. So Naruto is going to return to the village for another reason, to actually get a few new jutsus to learn. Of course, he's going to steal them from the Scroll of Sealing, since he already learned the Majestic Destroyer Flame, which is a freaking OP technique, and also he has a lot of techniques to learn on his own. And anywho, just saying, Naruto still hasn't mastered the Rasengan. Remember, he was only mastered. I'm pretty sure. I am 100% sure, to be honest, that I've only given him the Flying Raijin. And remember, Naruto is a generational genius. Anywho, of course, on the way to the Leaf Village, it's going to take a 3-day trip from where they are. Since they're going pretty slow, they're actually walking it, and it is what it is. Since they're not trying to take the exam, it doesn't really matter to them, so they can take their time. Anywho, of course, it's been they actually decided this a week later, and just saying, they're both wearing different masks, and of course the night raid now. Anywho, after this, Naruto and Haku actually entered the village, and just saying, Naruto on the way, he was actually trying to master the Rasengan, and since he is a generational genius, he was actually able to easily master the Rasengan within a day. And yes, within a day, not even a week, within a day. If Naruto in the original could do it within a week or two, I mean, a generational genius Naruto could do it in a day, right? Let's do the maths. So basically, generational genius has G-E-R. I spelled it wrong in the first place, so please, don't at me, bro. Like, my spelling is sexy in here. After this, Now Naruto, and just saying, I said it wrong. Generational is GEN, not GER. So please don't take from me. I am no one's idol. Do not don't follow my example. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I'm skunked. Anywho, now Naruto and Haku actually, entered the Leaf Village 3 days later after they actually began the trip. Of course, Naruto hasn't been out for too long, but there was someone actually following them. A girl following them, and it was Tsukumi. Of course, Naruto and Tsukumi knew each other, from the academy, and so, of course, if Tsukumi got caught, Naruto would have found out that Tsukumi has been spying on him, because Naruto has some suspicions of someone actually spying on him, because he has since he is a sensory type ninja, he didn't know who it was, because he's never trained with Tsukumi or never actually felt a chakra, but of course he felt someone always being near him or somewhere behind him. And anywho, after this, of course, Naruto actually takes Haku to actually his old home, and his old home still stayed the same, and so they were gonna stay in there. Of course, they didn't want to waste any money, so they were going to stay in there for the foreseeable future, for as long as possible. Of course, they couldn't actually walk in through the front door. They'd have to body flicker into it, and of course Naruto already has a key for it. Anywho, a spare key for it. And yeah, after this, of course, the Hokage is still searching for Naruto, to be honest. And Tsukumi actually disappeared after Naruto, and he was kind of confused on how both Tsukumi and Naruto disappeared. And just saying, Tsukumi actually was an Uchiha, and so she actually had a little alibi. She's like, oh, I'm an orphan Uchiha, blah blah blah, and whatever. Of course, Tsukumi already has a Mangekyo Sharingan. Yeah, she's actually way stronger than Naruto right now. Yes, Tsukumi actually has a Mangekyo Sharingan because she actually saw her grandfather, die in front of her, and that is what actually unlocked her Mangekyo Sharingan. After this, of course, Tsukumi is still spying on Naruto and sees how Naruto every day he actually trains. Even though he's back in the Leaf Village, he trains with Haku in a secluded area, and every night he goes out with Haku, and sometimes on his own too, just to go and visit the librarian's grave, because remember, Naruto doesn't want to forget about the librarian. He wants to keep on respecting him. Every day he goes to the librarian's grave, puts new flowers there, and of course someone is kind of suspicious on who actually does this, because remember the librarian's an orphan, and no one really liked the librarian other than Naruto. But of course Naruto disappeared, and just saying, that was actually Kakashi, because Kakashi actually comes often to the graveyard because of Obito and the Rin. And yeah, of course, now since he sees new flowers every day, he kind of gets suspicious of some of things, and is that there's no way Naruto could have been back. But remember, Naruto doesn't really mind the village. He never hated the village. All he hates is how they not only how they treated them, but how the Hokage they couldn't find out who killed the librarian, and also because he believes that if he gets close to anyone, they will suffer, and suffer the same fate as the librarian. But of course that's not true. Anywho, after this, sorry guys, it's kinda late. Anywho, after this, Naruto of course returns home, and then they hear about the Chunin exams the next day. They actually begin. Of course, the first exam goes pretty normal, and of course is the written exam, and Naruto is not in it, remember, and same as Tsukumi. And here, of course, the second exam actually begins. Here is where the changes happen. Naruto and Haku actually wear their mask, and they actually enter the forest of death as well, just to see how the Genin actually fight in a survival in an environment where they have to survive. And these ways, and of course, Naruto actually follows Team 7 because that is the most prominent one, and Haku follows the other ones. And these ways, of course, Tsukumi follows Naruto in secret, but whatever. Anywho, now after this, Naruto and Tsukumi, sorry, just Naruto sees someone up ahead, and of course the other three stop, and basically it's Orochimaru as always. And here Orochimaru, without wasting any time, bites Sasuke's neck while he's still paralyzed, and then basically Menma realizes what's happening, and so he actually goes into his fire cloak and tries to blitz Orochimaru, but Orochimaru is able to kick him a few times in the chest, and then kick him roundhouse kick him to the face and send him towards Sakura. And just saying, Sakura has a crush on both of them, so she doesn't know which one to choose. But his way is anyway, Sasuke doesn't force him as Menma, but Menma stands back up and literally lets out a roar and goes into his two tails, tail beastie. And of course, at this point, dies because of the Nine Tails actually trying to take control. But of course, Orochimaru, as in the original, said to Naruto, is that you're going to be a pest in the future, so I might as well just make it tighter. And basically, of course, he tightens up the seal for Menma and then kicks him in the chest, back to the ground, and Menma is unconscious. Of course, Sakura is scared, and she thought she was about to die. But then, out of nowhere, a masked figure actually comes in front of Orochimaru, and he's like, "So you must be Orochimaru." And basically, as he says that, basically a ton of lightning and fire comes out of this masked figure, and basically it's blue lightning and blue fire. It's the next morning, and afternoon, because it's 11:59. Yeah, I kind of fell asleep, and so I feel even worse. My nose is gone, I can't breathe properly, and anywho, let's continue this. Yeah, so the master figure, of course, as I said, it's Naruto. And Naruto came in to help out Team 7. And of course, Tsukumi is watching this. And then basically the master figure says, "You lot, get out of here or you'll die." And basically, of course, to get away. Of course, Menma then wakes up and says what happened. And basically then Sakura explains what happened. And then Menma's kind of pissed off because he had to get help by a stranger. By his ways, while that was happening, Naruto and Orochimaru were getting it on. Of course, Naruto actually used the body flicker on Orochimaru with his lightning and fire, and of course, it looked pretty cool. It was like the fight against Sasuke and Itachi. How Sasuke came in with the Chidori when Itachi used the fireball jutsu. Yeah, something similar to this, but of course, it wasn't going to be easy for Naruto because Naruto is an A-ranked shinobi, while Orochimaru is a Sanin level shinobi, and Naruto doesn't have the experience to actually, put up a good fight against Orochimaru. Orochimaru sees this as a little plaything, and so he just plays around. Of course, Naruto is keeping up with Orochimaru because he's just playing with him. He's toying with Naruto. Naruto realized that Orochimaru is taking this too lightly, and so he goes all out. Naruto uses the flying Raijin with a Rasengan, and actually Rasengan's, Orochimaru into the chest. Orochimaru tanked this because Naruto wasn't really ready for it. Naruto wasn't really ready for it. He tanked it because Orochimaru was ready for it, because he was expecting something pretty strong from Naruto soon enough. If Naruto was able to keep up with Orochimaru just playing around, that means there must be something hiding that Naruto's hiding, because if Naruto could keep up with a suppressed Orochimaru, then there's no way Naruto's going all out right now. And especially because Naruto looked so casual while he was trying to, stop Orochimaru's shots. Anywho, Orochimaru still took that pretty well, but realized that Naruto may be a worthy opponent for him, and a worthy warm-up before, the big boss, the Hokage. Of course, then Orochimaru then allow all of his bloodlust to kind of just show Naruto how much inferior he is to him. But of course, Naruto just looks at him and is like, "Is that all?" And basically then Naruto lets out his own, and it literally contrasts, Orochimaru. But then out of nowhere, Naruto just looks at Orochimaru, and Orochimaru gets blown away. And this is something like the Emperor's Haki, and not blown away. Kind of blown away, yeah, like the Emperor's Haki. But of course, that's from One Piece, and I don't know what to call it. I'll say Emperor's Look, and basically Naruto, of course, is a generational genius, and he actually created this on his own. But of course, it is what it is. And just saying, I will be starting to rewatch One Piece from, the 2 year time skip, not the time skip when the One Piece crew, the Straw Hats, reunite, and that is because I don't really remember much before. Well, I remember everything before that, after Ace's death and everything, but I don't remember much during those few episodes that I watched, and then I just quit. So I want to rewatch it, especially because the Wano arc looks sick, and I really want to catch up. Anywho, now that was a little detour, but his ways. Of course, Naruto and Orochimaru, of course, look at each other. Orochimaru smiles and says, "Finally, someone strong enough to actually handle me." That is only because he hasn't fought anyone as strong as Naruto in a few days, or in a few years, to be honest, because Jiraiya has never found him. The Hokage never really fought him, and he just escaped when the Hokage actually found out about Orochimaru's experiments. But it is what it is. Anywho, after this, Naruto, of course, wasn't gonna hold back anymore, and so he lets out everything he has, and then actually, well. Teleports in front of Orochimaru, because Orochimaru has a seal on him, and he wasn't a contract seal. Naruto wasn't able to put a contract seal on him because he didn't have enough time, and that is because Naruto's still a bit slow with the flying Raijin. I know he's a generational genius, but he needs to have the experience with the flying Raijin, just like Minato did. And remember, Minato is a generational genius, but the amount of experience he had with the flying Raijin, that is what made him OP, and that is why when he actually hit Obito, with the Rasengan, he was able to put a contra seal straight away. Of course, that seal will actually the seal that Naruto put on, Orochimaru disappeared as soon as Naruto teleported to him, and that was only a one-time seal, and basically Naruto was actually ready to put a contra seal on him now, but then Orochimaru realized what Naruto was about to do, so he actually kicked him in the face, and then Orochimaru escaped. Naruto was pretty pissed, but then actually realized that Haku was actually here, and Haku actually came near Naruto and asked what happened, and basically Naruto's like, it's fine, I'll explain it, and now, of course, they go off. Anywho, now, Naruto and Haku, who have, reunited, Naruto explains everything that happened, and Haku understands, and is what it is. Anywho, of course, the preliminaries go as per normal, and of course, Naruto, since Naruto is not here, it's actually, Kiba versus Menma, and Menma wins easily. Remember, Menma is still a prodigy. He's not a generational genius like Naruto, but still, it is what it is. And Naruto, he didn't really want to come and watch this because he didn't really care. While Haku actually wanted to watch this, and so he actually stayed back. And while Naruto actually went to visit, the librarian's grave. Anywho, someone actually gave me a name for him. Someone said to call him Tawaki, and I could make him a Senju, one of Tsunade's siblings. I could do that, Tawaki Senju. You never know, but it is what it is. Anywho, that could actually come to a plot, a new plot for Tsunade to actually return to the village, but that's for later. That's later on in the story. Anywho, now Naruto, of course. After visiting, the librarian, his teacher, his friend, the only person that he truly had in this world, of course, now leaves and goes to the preliminaries. But of course, while he was doing this, he actually saw someone walking into the, village. He actually saw Jiraiya, yes. He actually saw Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sanin, walking into the village. And, anywho, of course, he sees him, and he doesn't think too much of it. He's maybe he's just here to see, people, the Chunin exams. And anywho, now Naruto arrives to see the final fight of the preliminaries, and it's Gaara versus, Lee. He sees Lee, and he believes Lee might actually win this after, going into his gates and getting off his weights. That kind of rhymed, but it is what it is. Now Naruto, of course, he's therefore gonna win, but then out of nowhere Gaara goes on a rampage and literally breaks his bones and legs. He annihilates Lee, and Naruto, seeing this, he really wants to stop it, but of course he can't. If he does, his cover will be blown. And remember, Naruto's using the stealth technique to actually hide himself from everyone and hide his presence, but it is what it is. Now, of course, Lee is saved by Might Guy, and of course the fight is won by Gaara. Of course now everyone's told about the 1 month training, and here's where he is now. Of course, here the fights all went the same. Since well, you know how if Naruto was there, the fight went as in the original. Just that here, it's Menma who won his Naruto fight instead of Naruto winning his own against Kiba. But it is what it is. Now, Naruto of course leaves, and Haku and Naruto actually decide to start training a bit, especially because Naruto has ice release and Haku is pretty much a master over it. And so Naruto actually asks Haku if he can actually train him a bit in the ice release. Of course, for the next 2 days, Naruto trains with Haku, but then now they actually want to get some food, and so they actually go down to Ichiraku Ramen. Of course, now Naruto here doesn't meet Jiraiya, since he doesn't really care about Jiraiya. Jiraiya was actually perving on, the people, but of course he just avoided them because he doesn't walk through the village. He actually walked around, over the buildings. He actually jumped over the buildings, so he doesn't bump into anyone that knows him. But his ways, of course, Naruto, once he arrives there, he eats, he actually takes away instead of eating in, because if he eats in, if someone that he knows walks in, his cover's gone anyway. That's too dangerous for Naruto to do, and so he doesn't do it. Now, of course, Naruto, once he's finished eating, Haku calls it off and says, okay, that's enough for today. I think we should go our own ways and trade on our own, things. And basically, Haku needs to train on his own things, and Naruto understands it, so he does. He listens, and he's like, alright, I'll see you how long? And Haku's like, let's say a month, when the Chunin exams, the finals are here. Naruto's like, calm. Anywho, of course, after this, Naruto actually decides to go steal a few more jutsus from the Scroll of Sealing. And so, he actually was about to break in because he thought no one was there. But once he actually comes near the door, with his stealth technique, he actually overhears a conversation. The conversation was between Jiraiya and the third Hokage. Of course, the Jiraiya was like, wait, how did you allow Naruto to get away? And basically, of course, Naruto's like, oh. And basically, of course, the Hokage apologized, and basically, Jiraiya said, it's not your fault, Sensei, it's my fault. I was a bad godfather. I wasn't here for him when he needed me the most. I wasn't here for any of them. Menma, Naruto, and now look how they've turned out. Menma is an egoistical prick, while Naruto's outside the village somewhere. Who knows? He's a rogue ninja now, and I don't even know what he's doing. I can't even find him. And of course, Naruto, I heard this conversation. He was like, wait, what? Bad godfather? What do you mean? I'm confused. And of course, as soon as the Hokage asks where Jiraiya is going, Jiraiya's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go find Naruto. And I will find him and bring him back to the Leaf Village. And after this, of course... Anywho, after this, Naruto was like, no, I don't care if he's my godfather or not, I'm not coming back to this village after what happened. And of course, Naruto was kind of happy that he did have someone else, but at the same time, of course, Naruto knows that if, Jiraiya comes near him or anything, or if he gets close to Jiraiya, there will be problems. For example, what happened to, the librarian. But of course, this can be contradicted by, Haku and that. But the thing is, Haku and Naruto are actually, like, business partners right now. They are friends and everything, but it's not like they're going to stay together forever. He wants to, but of course, he doesn't know if Haku wants to. Anywho, after this, of course, the 1 month's training continues with Naruto actually realizing that he could add a chakra release to the Rasengan. And so he actually decides to do that. Naruto being the generational genius he is, he's actually able to do this within 3 days. Yes, Naruto was able to actually do this within 3 days, and he actually creates a vanishing Rasengan. Then Naruto actually decides to, actually go off and train a different Rasengan. Actually adds, wind release. And of course, Menma, who actually didn't have anyone to train with, actually decided to ask the Hokage. The Hokage actually called in Jiraiya, and Jiraiya was more than happy to train Menma, because he is still his godson, and so he actually did it. Of course, now Naruto is not training with Jiraiya, so he's going to have a harder time, learning the summoning jutsu. Of course, Naruto then actually goes to the library that the librarian used to work at, and he actually found this secret book. Well, not a book, a scroll, where the librarian used to, the librarian used to keep his things, and he actually opened up, because not many he hasn't been opened up after his death, so Naruto actually looked into it, and he saw a few scrolls with jutsus, and of course Naruto's like, whoa, interesting. I'm sure he won't say anything about it. And basically now Naruto opens one, and he shows him how to do the summoning jutsu and also the reverse summoning jutsu, and so Naruto actually decides to learn it, and that one actually had the contract seal on it. So the contract seal was actually the contract seal actually, no, the contract with the summoning contract. That's what I meant, not contract seal. I'm an idiot. Anywho, and just saying, something I want to mention before I continue this what if is that Menma's key is actually with the Hokage, and Naruto's key, to the cages, is with the toads. And so now Naruto actually, signs the summoning contract, and basically summons Gamabunta on his first try, and Gamabunta's like, what you want, kid? And just saying, Menma's still trying it, because remember, he's a prodigy, but still he's not a generational genius like Naruto. Of course, Naruto's like, I summon you, you're my summoning now, and now you listen to me. And basically, Gamabunta then gets his, sword out as, do you really think I would be your summoning? And literally tries to cut Naruto. Naruto just blocks the sword with literally one hand. He was actually so strong that he was actually able to keep the, sword from hitting him. And, of course, Gamabunta's like, wait, what? And basically then Naruto's like, looks at Gamabunta and literally just full on lets out all of his bloodlust. And Gamabunta's like, wait, what is this? What is this? And basically just saying, Naruto actually summoned him somewhere secluded, somewhere that not many people go to go in the village, by his ways. Anywho, now of course Naruto, who kind of annihilated Gamabunta actually submitted to Naruto. He's like, alright, cool, bro, hey yo, don't hurt me in that. I like, you're kind of strong in that. I allowed the thing, yeah. I don't want to get rotted in that. And yeah, of course, now Naruto and Gamabunta became, friends, and friends, or you could say. But of course, Gamabunta then says, what's your name, kid? And basically Naruto is like, you don't need to know that. And basically Gamabunta says, I need your name or I won't become your summoning. And Naruto then's like, Naruto's Maki, is that good enough? And basically then Gamabunta's like calm and literally just goes away. And of course then Naruto actually learns the reverse summoning jutsu, and accidentally, I'm just saying, this is like a week into the 1 month training, and Naruto accidentally summons himself into the freaking Toad, Madam Yoboku. I meant to Toad, Madam Yoboku, yeah. And so of course Gamabunta was completely baffed on how Naruto did this, and Naruto's like, oh yeah, I tried this jutsu, it's called the reverse summoning jutsu. And basically Gamabunta's like, but I left a second ago, how did you do it so quick? And Naruto's like, oh, it was first try. And basically Gamabunta's like, how long did it take you to summon me? And basically Naruto's like, first try. And of course Gamabunta's like, come with me. And of course he takes him to the Elder Toad, and the Elder Toad could see Naruto. Basically Gamabunta wants to know from the Elder Toad who this kid is, and of course the Elder Toad now tells him that this kid is a generational genius like Minato no Mikaze. And basically Naruto's like, Minato no Mikaze, he wasn't either fourth Hokage. And basically the Toads are like, yeah, of course he was a generational genius, or one of our best students, well, to be honest, the best student, but still. Anywho, after this Naruto then asks, well, what did he learn here? And basically of course the last sage mode, and Naruto's like, interesting, I read something about it, he kind of gives you powers and that, but I don't need it right now, so I'm gonna go. And basically reverse summoning jutsus himself back to the normal world. And Naruto's like, well, that was pretty useful, I guess. And now Naruto actually learns from the other scrolls that he actually got. And of course those scrolls had the ninjutsus, S-rank ninjutsus, and which I'm going to name afterwards. But still, of course Naruto then actually says, wait, let me make another Rasengan first. And of course Naruto actually trains with the wind release now, and here Naruto actually created the same Rasengan as Boruto did, the green looking disc Rasengan thing that kind of destroyed a bit of a rock. Yeah, it's not as strong, but then Naruto actually decides to add chakra transformation, and actually create a different create a different shape of it. And so he created the Rasen Shuriken. His Rasen Shuriken actually then turned into his normal color, but is what it is now. Of course, Naruto learned 2 types of Rasengans, and it didn't even take him too long. The Rasen Shuriken was even easier for Naruto to learn for some reason, but it is what it is now. After this, of course, Naruto These scrolls contain A rank and A rank to S rank techniques, but of course some S rank techniques Naruto could just not learn because they were too hard for him and he didn't know how to do them. And of course his ways, so Naruto learns all the A rank techniques within a week, and there weren't too many. There were like 5, but they were really useful. Of course, 5 of all the 5 other chakra natures, because the librarian had all 5 chakra natures. Yes, the librarian is actually an OP guy. Remember, Danzo wanted him in the root, and so that's why he killed him when he denied it, when he declined. But still, anywho, because Danzo thought that the librarian could be a well, he could, if he went up against against the Anbu, he would be a pest and it would be hard to deal with him. That's why he killed him as fast as possible when he was off guard. Yeah. Anywho, the jutsus were. The jutsus were the fire release one was the fire dragon technique, which is actually Naruto. You know how it was used against the fire against Itachi. Sasuke used it. It was basically that, and also the water release one was Great Waterfall, which is basically a technique that can it's a bit more like a tornado water, but still a great waterfall is basically when Naruto just stomps on the ground and water just arrives from each side of him, and it's a bit more like it's a more advanced water water shockwave, and it's much stronger, and it can actually kill people. It can tear trees from the ground and yeah, so it rips you. Anywho, if you get hit by it, you're gone. Anywho, the earth style one was actually the earth release one was actually an S rank technique, and it was actually called earth style earth style hardening, and basically it just hardens the user's body and it's hard as rock, as a material of rock. And you know how hard is a rock? I'm pretty sure all of us tried to kick a rock when we were younger. I still do to this day. But still, yeah. Don't ask me why. I'm kind of dumb. But yeah, anywho. The lightning release one was... And this one's actually a made-up one. The others were all, ones that I read online. I actually made the research on them. But still, this is a made-up one. And it's actually called the lightning style. Lightning coffin, which is actually basically lightning comes from the ground to actually pierce you, just like imagine the shadow stitching jutsu. Yes, imagine that, but with lightning. And not only does it impale the target, but also it paralyzes the target and it electrocutes him. Of course, this could cause death. This could cause the target to faint, and also it could cause paralyzation. That's pretty, like I said before. Anywho, the next one is actually the next one is actually a wind release technique, and that is. And this one's another made-up one. It's actually called air pressure, and that is actually an S-rank technique if you think about it, because he literally uses air pressure to attack you. Naruto could just flick the air and literally, just like what Deku did against Todoroki in the UA Sports Festival, how he used air pressure from his flicks to actually destroy Todoroki's ice. Yeah, and this can not only it has an impact of a pretty strong impact, to be honest. And literally, it can break bones, it can break people's bodies, to be honest. But it is what it is. Anywho, also now Naruto has another week before the Chunin exams. Another 2 weeks before the finals. And so Naruto actually learns actually adds fire release to his Rasengan, and he creates the red flame Rasengan. And of course, this is a Rasengan which is literally flames in a Rasengan, and he has the same exact effects, just that not only does it burn the user and scorches them, it actually has dot damage, which they actually have burns all around the body, and it makes them slower, it decreases their defense, and also it keeps burning them. Yes, so pretty much it's a one shot if you think about it. But of course, some people can get rid of it if they're skilled enough, and that is mostly most Chunin in that. But that is still an S rank jutsu, because if there's enough chakra added to it, the flames don't stay red, but they can actually go blue, which Naruto could do easily. And yeah, Annihilation 100. Anyway, of course, now that took him another 3 days, and now Naruto has literally a week left. But he decides to do some investigations, because he has been noticing someone following him around, and at this point Naruto's getting pretty pissed. If they're gonna follow him, they might as well just ask him. Well, he wants to know why, but if they keep stalking him, he's going to get pretty pissed. And of course, now Naruto just looks back, and no, he doesn't look back, like literally, like turns around. Naruto can feel someone behind him, and so he actually, looks with his eyes, not with like turning his head, like literally with his eyes. You can see someone on the tree stamp, and so Naruto then actually thinks that he's about to do a jutsu, but then of course Naruto actually did made a clone, and the clone actually went up in the sky. Well, he actually jumped and threw a kunai, and then said kunai shadow clone. And Tsukumi was actually thinking that Naruto started training against himself, but of course Naruto then actually used his wind style air pressure, air pressure to actually blow away all the kunais, and one of them nearly hit Tsukumi and hit the tree branch. I was about to say tree trunch. I was what? Tree branch. And yeah, of course Tsukumi was like, damn, I need to be a bit more careful. But of course she thought she wasn't found out, but then Naruto actually teleported behind her and then had the kunai to her neck and said, Tsukumi, what do you want from me? And basically Naruto now realized who he was, because he saw her once he actually teleported behind her. Tsukumi was like, God damn it, you found me then. And basically Naruto's like, well, didn't you leave the Leaf Village too? Why are you following me? Tell me now, or I'll kill you right now. And of course, then Tsukumi is like, shut up. And literally, tries to elbow Naruto in the hip and then try to escape. But then Naruto actually stops it with his other hand and says, I don't think you're in the position to actually try attacking me. I mean, I have a kunai to your neck. You should be cooperating with me. But then Tsukumi then disappears and actually uses her, reverse summon jutsu, and Tsukumi is running. But then Naruto actually teleports in front of her, and that is because Naruto actually is, body flicked in front of her. And now he's like, tell me. And basically Tsukumi is like, I'll only tell you if you can beat me in a fight. And that is only because Tsukumi was actually kind of getting worried that Naruto was actually starting to get closer to her own strength, and basically now she just couldn't handle it anymore. She needed to find out who's stronger and who's weaker. Anyway, of course Naruto takes up this challenge, and basically now, of course, they actually go to a secluded area, not in the place that Naruto was actually training, because there they could cause a bit too much commotion and they would get found out. Of course, Naruto actually takes somewhere else far away, even outside the village, and it's a mountain. And it's not too cold, but still, it's a secluded area. It's like a bit of a open field, but it is what it is. Anywho, now Naruto and Tsukumi look at each other and they say, and just the journey took a day, because they don't want to get caught or anything. And Tsukumi was kind of skeptical of why Naruto's taken her so far, but now she realized why. But it is what it is. She's not too worried. But of course, the fight begins with Tsukumi actually blitzing Naruto with a Sharingan, and literally looking into Naruto's eyes and trying to get into Naruto's mind. Of course, Naruto couldn't really, stop this, because she was too fast for Naruto, even though Naruto's a generational genius. But of course, he'll get out of this genjutsu. Tsukumi actually just wanted to get into Naruto's mind to actually find out what he was thinking, because Tsukumi kinda had, an interest in Naruto, because she always saw Naruto as a person, a bit of a secretive person, to be honest. Like, she never really, all she did is just stalk him and everything, just keep an eye on him, while she never really understood anything that Naruto did, or the reasoning behind the things that he did. But it is what it is. Anywho, she enters Naruto's mind, and she can see all of Naruto's memories. She can see Naruto's sad life, because she never really stalked Naruto before he was 4, and she could see really how Naruto had to go through all the hardships in his life, and she kind of felt sad for him, because at least she had some kind of family, even Obito's kind of family to her. And so she was like really like hesitant in fighting Naruto at this point. But then Naruto then breaks out this genjutsu and just punches her in the gut, and then actually roundhouse kicks her to in the face and sends her flying. But then Tsukumi goes back to her sensei, is like, who I'm talking about, and then actually activates her Mangekyo Sharingan, and just saying, we don't really know Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan abilities except for Susanoo. So I'm not sure what to give her, and in fact, I'm going to, of course, have to think that out. But still, Tsukumi actually only uses that to, use the Susanoo. Of course, Tsukumi actually summons the Susanoo and literally punches Naruto, with the Susanoo arm, and basically Naruto kind of goes flying, but then Naruto actually creates a Shuriken while he was actually backflipping in the air and just threw it at Tsukumi. But of course Tsukumi tanked it with the ribcage, but of course he actually created a few cracks, and Tsukumi was like, wait, what? And basically Naruto then teleported in front of it and literally had a scorching Rasengan, and then the no, it's not scorching Rasengan, the red flame Rasengan, and then the red flame Rasengan actually became blue, and basically Naruto just shatters he screamed, and basically he's like, it's over, and basically breaks the ribcage. Basically, the Rasengan actually goes into, Tsukumi, and Tsukumi kind of goes flying, but then Tsukumi lands on her feet and literally then uses her Mangekyo Sharingan abilities. Yes, and I'm going to give her one myself, and it's going to be being able to see, the future. Basically, it's like full sight, Bardock had, and basically she saw that Naruto would teleport next to her and Rasengan her, but then Tsukumi actually got a kunai out, and as soon as Naruto teleported towards her, she actually stabbed Naruto in the chest with the kunai, blood gushed out, and basically Naruto kind of had to, back up, and he's like, what the hell, she read right through me. And of course Tsukumi does get, the same exact, basically Tsukumi, of course, since she didn't really have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and there was no way of her getting it, Madara actually took care of that, and so he actually implanted, Hashirama cells into her eyes, so her eyes would never, run out, and basically she had the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but of course she couldn't get the perfect Susanoo, which of course she will get in the future, but it is what it is. Of course now she can see Naruto's movement, and basically Naruto has no chance pretty much, but of course unless Naruto is actually able to pretty much go faster than, of course, Tsukumi, or go faster than Tsukumi could actually see in the future. Of course, that's going to be pretty hard. Even with the flying Raijin, it's going to be pretty hard. But Naruto, of course, will not give up. But right now, Naruto doesn't even know about how Tsukumi is doing this. And just saying, there's still a week of literally Naruto having to train after this. And basically, the fight keeps going. And the fight actually lasts 3 days. 3 days of fighting Naruto and Tsukumi. Naruto's actually kind of losing, but at the same time Tsukumi is barely keeping up because of the Mangekyo Sharingan, but she's actually running low on chakra. Naruto has still a ton of chakra left, and so Naruto takes the opportunity of this when Tsukumi actually lets down her guard for a second to actually recover a bit. Naruto actually teleports in front of her with a Rasengan and literally smashes it into her face, and literally Tsukumi goes flying. Tsukumi is on the ground, tired and not able to fight anymore, and now Naruto actually picks her up and takes her back with him. Of course Tsukumi is like, what are you doing, Naruto? And basically Naruto's like, you're injured, I'll take you back to the village and I'll heal you there, then you can go your own way. And of course Tsukumi is kind of embarrassed about this, because Naruto is literally carrying a when someone faints, a girl faints, and basically a guy that just tries to carry her, you know what I mean, that way, princess carry basically, but is what is. Anywho, now of course Naruto and Tsukumi return to the village secretly. Of course Naruto is able to infiltrate again, and now of course he heals Tsukumi, and that took another 2 days to do, and basically now Naruto only has 1 day. Of course Naruto then asks, why were you following me? And basically Tsukumi is like, I can't tell you that, it's a secret. And basically Naruto's like, is it? Then please stop, because it's I'm not really comfortable with it. And basically Tsukumi is like, okay. And basically now Tsukumi needs to get even better at stealth, because Naruto even found her out, and she thought, and just saying, Tsukumi is an S-rank shinobi. Now Naruto is definitely an S-rank shinobi, especially because he has enough S-rank techniques to actually be able to kill someone. And of course now Naruto is able to now Naruto is actually ready to actually continue his mission, to actually stop the cycle of hatred. But is what is right now, he still wants to see the finals of the Chunin exams, and of course that goes as per normal. Anywho, now Neji still fights. The next day the finals actually begin, and Tsukumi is actually there with a mask, and basically Naruto recognizes her. Basically, actually he tells Haku that he'll be watching from there, and basically Haku realizes that there's a girl where Naruto's going, and basically just laughs and says, Naruto, I know what you're up to. And basically Naruto's like, it's not what you think it is, and basically of course goes off, and it is what it is. Now Naruto, of course, talks to Tsukumi, and Tsukumi's like, why are you here? And basically Tsukumi, Naruto's like, why are you here? And Tsukumi's like, well, I can't even watch the Chunin exams. And basically Naruto's like, yeah, you can, but did you, like, after what you did, that is kind of sus, you know? And basically Tsukumi's like, just leave me alone and let me watch. And basically Naruto's like, alright, cool. And just stands next to her, and basically Tsukumi's like, what are you doing here? And Naruto's like, well, can I not watch either? And basically Tsukumi's like, yeah, but do you really have to be next to me? And here's what he's like. Of course, now the fight actually begins, and Menma, who is actually way too OP for anyone to actually beat except for Sasuke. Sasuke is the only one to... Gaara's OP too. But here's what it is. Of course, Neji puts up a good fight, but of course gets annihilated by Menma. But remember, Neji never really changes because of Menma being a prodigy too. And anywho, now the next fight is Shikamaru versus, Temari. And Temari annihilates... Sasuke was meant to be next, but of course his one got postponed, and here's what it is. Shikamaru's fight actually goes exactly the same, and same as Shino, because, Kankuro just gave up. He didn't want to fight, and here's what it is. Anywho, now, Sasuke actually returned last second, and now, of course, he actually began his fight against Gaara. This fight was actually completely the same. It went the same way. Everything was the same. And just as Sasuke was even stronger than the original, because now he has a stronger rival than the original by his ways. But Naruto is way stronger than the original Naruto anyway. So, now, of course, Sasuke's fight actually kind of goes a bit similar to the original one. The similarity is just the ending, but of course the actual fight is completely different. How they actually they begin with taijutsu, and both of them are actually kind of equal, but then Gaara actually tries to impale Sasuke, which Sasuke then has to protect himself by actually dodging it, and then he creates a Chidori and actually decides to go ahead and try to finish the fight off against Gaara. And of course he was close, but he of course couldn't do it because Gaara was able to dodge it. But then Sasuke actually changed hands and used the Chidori in the other one, and Gaara tried to block it with the sand, the wall, but Sasuke was able to actually penetrate it with his left. And at first he went with his right, but then with his left, and was able to stab Gaara's shoulder, and Gaara kind of went on a rampage. Of course, here everyone was spawned Genjutsu. Tsukumi, Naruto, Haku weren't though, and so basically, of course, even Menma, and as per normal, the people who weren't put in the Genjutsu as in the original, and adding Menma on top of that, those people weren't put on the Genjutsu. And now, of course, Naruto wasn't sure where Sasuke was going, but he wasn't going to allow someone, any of the villagers to get hurt. Remember, Naruto doesn't hate the village. He just doesn't know how to feel about it, because, first he wants to get stronger to find out who killed, his master. But it is what it is. Anywho, now, Naruto, of course, follows Sasuke with Haku and Tsukumi this time. No one is actually sent there. They are sent there, but, Menma and Sakura. Of course, Shikamaru goes with them. But, of course, they see that 3 people are already taking care of everyone. Of course, Kankuro arrives, and basically Haku takes care of Kankuro within a second. Well, not a second, within a few minutes. And basically, Team 7, the 2 members of Team 7 and Shikamaru actually watch, and they're like, wait, what? Haku? And basically then the Temari is taken on by Tsukumi. Of course, no one really knew about Tsukumi, because Tsukumi doesn't really fight as doesn't fight as anyone they know, because they've never seen Tsukumi actually fight properly. And then Gaara, of course, here they followed this masked figure, and basically, of course, Naruto saves Sasuke and gives him to Shikamaru, and basically then tells them to get away, and basically that this is going to get dangerous. And basically Menma's like, I'll take him on, and basically Naruto just slaps him and says, you're not taking anyone on here, this is too dangerous, get out of here. And basically Menma pulls him by his shirt, and basically Naruto just then teleports behind him and knocks him out. And then basically Naruto's like, take him away or he's going to die here. And after this, of course, they listen to him, because he his little trio actually was able to take care of all of these mans. And basically, of course, now Naruto takes on Gaara the same way he did in the original. Of course, he still makes friends with Gaara because his mask is actually broken. And basically now Naruto is pretty injured, but then Haku and Tsukumi actually arrive, then they take him away. Of course, Haku then asks, what does Tsukumi want? And Tsukumi is that, I kinda want to join you guys. And basically Naruto overhears this and basically starts laughing while they're actually outside the village by now. And just saying, of course, people saw the massive frog actually turning into the nine-tailed fox, and basically they were like, what? And just saying, Naruto only did that because he didn't know if he could take on Shikaku, and I just wanted that to end the same way. But of course the Hokage still dies here, and Naruto actually hears about this a week later, after the fifth Hokage got announced, and it was actually Tsunade actually got convinced by Jiraiya, because Tawaki, one of her cousins, in fact her cousin, sorry, not one of them, her cousin actually died. Tawaki Senju, yes, Tawaki was actually a Senju, and he was a prodigy, and of course he died because of someone in the leaf. And Tsunade wants revenge, and that's why she actually became the Hokage, to actually find out and do investigations on this. And basically Naruto then said, god damn, I couldn't protect the Hokage. And basically he never hated the Hokage, so he kind of felt responsible for it. But of course now Tsukumi actually asked Naruto if she wants to join, and just saying, she did talk about this with Obito, and Obito's a good plan. And the plan is that they want to actually keep an eye on Naruto by Tsukumi being next to Naruto all the times and his ways. And that's where I'm going to end off. I hope you enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weebs, and don't forget to follow Shoka on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also subscribe to Kazama, Ratreet, and Miniman123 on YouTube. And also don't forget to join the Discord server. All the links are in the description below, and if you want to get some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo and get 5% off on your next $49 plus order with the code MEME, and 10% off on your next $99 plus order with the code MEME. Anywho, use my link in the description below to support the channel, and I will be streaming tonight or maybe tomorrow. It depends if I'm feeling alright. And anywho, hope you enjoyed it, my ducklings. You're dismissed, and peace.